small and medium-sized businesses. Now, we recognize that you go into business, you start business, you work in the organizations you work in because you have a real passion for the business that you work for. I'm yet to meet an entrepreneur who said to me, Brendan, the reason why I started my business was just so I could run that first set of month-end accounts, as attractive as that might be to some of us. But you know, in today's climate, we need to be as close to our businesses as possible. And so our vision for small and medium-sized businesses is we become the partner of choice for you to work with, and that over time, you will trust us to provide you with those tools which will give you the insight into your business, your finances, your customers, and that we are there to support you in the best way we can do, in whichever way your business needs. Now, in order for me to explain that in some detail, I'd now like to go through our vision and explore it from a number of different aspects, starting with product, then moving on to service, and then let's end up by just having a look at some other services. So let's start with product. Now, before I describe some of the key initiatives that we're working on at the moment, I'd actually like to start by asking you a question. As I mentioned, I'd like to really take your feedback and really just for us to get some immediate, instantaneous view in terms of some direction that we may want to go in. So if you could have your SpotMe technology to hand, that would be great. To be honest, it also gives me a chance to do something I've always wanted to do, which is to play the role of Chris Tarrant as he does on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire by asking the audience a question. Now, unfortunately for you, there's no phone a friend or 50-50, so you are on your own here. But what I'd like you to do is to think about the products that Sage provides you with today. And like lots of things in business, quite often things come down to choices, priorities, focus. So the question which I have for you is, which of these areas would it be most beneficial to you for Sage to focus on in the future from a product perspective? Would it be us adding more features to our existing products, making them feature-rich? So that's option one. Would it be option two, us improving the usability of our products so they're easier to use, so that you can find what you want a lot easier, a lot quicker, more straightforwardly? Or would it be about improving collaboration so that it's easier for you to work with third parties, such as accountants, such as suppliers? Or would it be to do with that initial installation and registration process that you go through whenever you buy or upgrade one of our products? So it's options 1 to 4 on the SpotMe technology. So please vote now. And hopefully we're going to see some results in a few seconds. And if we don't, I can always ask you to put your hands up. Wow. That's very interesting. Unfortunately, I'm looking at a screen. I can't quite read the percentages, but clearly features and usability really do kind of stand out there. And you know what? That's really very valuable for us because, as I said, quite often things come down to choices, come down to priorities. And there's many colleagues in the audience who will be scribbling away at the moment, just making a note of that steer you've given us. And look, during the next day or so, if you can give us any more in-depth feedback and any more in-depth information in terms of how you voted, please do track one of us down, and please do find the time to give us that extra feedback. Okay, and I'll try and remember vaguely some of those percentages as we go through, but I remember it's predominantly around usability. Now, before I describe some of those key initiatives we are working on, let me just remind you of the product portfolio that we offer at Sage for small businesses. And all of this you can go and see at this year's event. So please just find the time to track down the area you have a particular interest in, go and see it, and again, please do give us your feedback. But as you can see, our portfolio today is very diversified and very extensive. And actually, if I was to spend about 15 or 20 minutes just describing what we are doing in each of the products, I'd still be here at about 4 o'clock this afternoon. So I'm not going to do that. Instead, please do go away and find the areas which you have an interest in. So let me return to some of those generic areas that we've been working on across our product range, all designed to improve the experience that you feel as you work with our products. Now, I'm delighted to say the first one is all to do with usability. And obviously, we weren't sure how you were going to vote, but things have worked out reasonably well on this particular question. So we are working very hard at the moment in simplifying our user interface. What that means is it's all about making our software clearer, cleaner, easier to use, so that you can get to what you want as quickly and as easily as possible. We are also making our products more intuitive by improving navigation and increasing automation. And both of those form part of our overall drive towards improving usability. So I'm delighted that nearly half of you voted for usability. And because we know that's a really important area for our customers, there's an area at this year's event which is designated specifically to show you what we are doing from a usability perspective. And I would encourage you, if you have the time, to go and see that, because it's a great way to give us your feedback. We are looking to improve collaboration across our products. What that means is making it easier for you to work with third parties, such as accountants, such as suppliers. And that means to you reducing your costs, your processing time, and the effort that you have to put in. And in the future, we would love to be able to provide you with the opportunity to acquire additional functionality without the necessity of moving right the way up to the next full variant of the product. It might just be that you're after that one extra feature or function, and it makes far more sense for you to be able to just take that one extra item. Access to data is something which is very important to customers. And again, we're looking at how we can improve access to data so it's easier for you to share data and to do so in a secure manner. And integration is something which, again, is very important across products so that they work better across our product range. And a good example of that would be when we recently launched Sage 50 Accounts 2011, which was about 4 weeks ago now. We specifically integrated Sage Pay. Now, Sage Pay is something that many of you will use as a vehicle, as a mechanism for collecting monies from your customers through your web store. And now those payments can be automatically downloaded into your account system without you having to do anything further. And although not many of you voted for this one, we are actually working on that initial experience you get when you install or register a product with us for the first time. Because when you buy or upgrade to one of our products, we recognize that that whole experience should be as pleasing and as straightforward and as seamless as possible. So in all of these areas, all of these are designed, as I say, to improve the experience that you feel when you work with our products. They're all practical areas that we're working in, which will reduce effort, which will reduce your time, your costs, and will save you money and effort. So now what I would like to do is I would like to return to our vision of becoming your trusted partner of choice, but this time to examine things from a service perspective. Now, I don't know if the scoring will work quite so well this time round. But again, I have a very similar question to ask you, and then I'll go on to share with you some of the key initiatives that we're working on at the moment. Now, we recognize at Sage, service is something which is really, really important to you. And it's imperative, critical, that we provide you with the best service that we can do. One which is tailored to your needs and one which offers you choice. Choice in terms of how you want to contact us and choice of when you want to contact us. And to be honest, we're really proud of the service offering